All right. My first dodgeball was dodgeball 47. So this guy's had already done 46 events without me. July of 2006. So I was with my friends at Monmouth University, Dan Turner. We were hanging around, and Dan was like, "Oh, there's this dodgeball thing going on." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. When is it?" And he's like, "Saturday night." And I'm like, "Okay. Like, where is it?" Like, on a tennis court in Wall. I'm like, "Who are these people that want to spend their Saturday night playing dodgeball on a tennis court?" So Dan's like, "Yeah, it starts at 6 and ends at 9." And I said, "Okay." And so I went there. I got there at like 5:55 to the Wall High School tennis courts, and there was absolutely nobody there, including Dan Turner. And I thought Dan was just playing a trick on me. And then the first guy to show up is not Dan Turner, but John Tronalone. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I said, "Hey, Dan invited me, okay, if I play this kind of thing." And I don't remember, he must have like made fun of me or something. That's what he does when he meets people, he makes fun of them. That's how you know you're in. So we got in and we started playing, and it was a bunch of people who, like me, had nothing better to do on a Saturday night in their college years or high school years than to play dodgeball. And we did not play like dodgeball as a social event. We were just hauling it at each other. Like, lots of people got injured all the time, and everybody would like come back with like a broken finger or like your face busted up, and then you come back next week and you do it again. So I did that. I made 47. I made either 48 or 49, and then dodgeball 50 was at Ocean Road Park, different place. And dodgeball 50, as you can see from the celebrations here, was a giant celebration because we had like dodgeball 50 and 60 and 70, all celebrations. The dodgeball 50 was the first big one. There were like streamers, like John must have been there for like 3 hours, for like $200 at like party fair or something, putting up absolutely everything at this park that he was not at all allowed to do. And we just had a blast. And that's when I realized this was like a way of life for these people, and ended up being a way of life for me. And then my friends would be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Bar A, and like we're gonna go here, we're gonna go to Jack's." I'm like, "Yeah, I got something to do, I can't join you." And I don't know what these guys have played. But I didn't want to be friends with any of them because they were all losers. That's the key thing. I just was there for dodgeball. I didn't like any of them. And they invited me out for stuff. They're like, "Oh, Mike, we're going out afterwards. We're going to Applebee's. We got half-price apps." I'm like, "Not interested. I do not want to be friends with you people. I only want to play dodgeball." And so John, rude as he is, invited me like every week for 2 years to Applebee's until one day I was just absolutely starving. And then I went, and then I was there, and Chris Adams ordered his like 17-layer nacho dish, and somebody didn't pay on time, and we all had to pitch in, and it was the most awful experience ever. And then I went again next week and the week after that, and then after Applebee's, we would sit in the A&P parking lot playing Mad Libs until 2 in the morning, like a bunch of idiots, because we had nothing better to do. And then they became my friends. And then we go out, and we have great times. I went to wrestling events with John, and we've been on vacations. Now John is among my best friends, if not my best friends. And all of these guys I've grown up with. I've been doing this forever. I know these guys longer than I know most of my real friends outside of this whole event. And for me, dodgeball was an outlet. When I was injured and I couldn't run cross country, when I was doing terrible in school, when I couldn't find a job, I was okay because I could take a really hard dodgeball and throw as hard as I could 7 feet away at somebody's head, and it was totally okay. And then they would do the same to me. And then after like 3 hours, you were too exhausted to be annoyed with your life anymore. And then after a few years, what ended up being awesome was the friends and not just the dodgeball. And we did it forever. We did it week in and week out. We did it in hailstorms. We did it when it was pouring rain. pouring rain in like November, there would still be 15 people showing. Unbelievable how many people are like me that have no lives and have nothing else to do on Saturday night. Anyway, just wanted to say thank you to John and everybody who's been a part of Dodgeball. It has been the most enriching thing that I have done in my life. I have all you guys to thank. Thank you. Out!